everybody. Happy New Year. Today is a new day, a new year, and a new decade. And I can't think of a better way to start off the decade than by telling you what's going on in the late bloomer garden. Let's take a look. Think on January 1st there would be much growing outside, but actually there is. My two citrus trees, my Valencia orange and my Meyer lemon, are loaded with fruit. I harvested 16 lemons when I got back on Monday, and I can't wait to try some of the recipes that people suggested to me on the live stream yesterday, starting with Meyer lemon marmalade. This is something that Jack Davis recommended. She also gave me some to try when she was here, and it was delicious. Also was suggested lemon bars, lemon meringue pie. I am going to do a lot with my lemons before I go. Nasturtium has exploded and it's growing all over the place. So I can make nasturtium pesto, like the recipe that Felice shared with us earlier this past year. I can't wait for them to start blooming, and I hope that happens before I'm actually out of here. Now I've got sugar cane. Several stalks are ready to harvest, and on Saturday when Eric comes, we are going to be harvesting those and trying them again. That is the most divine thing to stick in your mouth and just suck on it. It's so sweet and so wonderful. I've also got stevia, so I'm thinking about making some lemonade with stevia and cranberry hibiscus flowers, dried cranberry hibiscus flowers, which I've got in my pantry, saved from last year. My cranberry hibiscus took kind of a beating in the last few weeks because it's been so windy. It needs to be completely chopped back. That'll happen on Saturday also. I dug up my amaryllis bulbs to take with me, but I missed one, and it is coming up out in the parkway. What is amazing is my rosemary is in full bloom. Now, this rosemary bush blooms probably a third of the year. It's absolutely stunning, and the bees love it. Cardamom is looking fantastic. My sweetgrass came back from being completely cut down. And I've got ginger, and of course all of my fruit trees. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 5 pineapple guava trees. I've got 2 mature olive trees. I've got 2 fig trees. I've got my mature plum tree, and this past year was the best harvest ever. In fact, I had my first viral video from that plum harvest. I made a video called "Can You Believe This Is a Tiny Front Yard?" and that has almost 500,000 views. And it's brought in a lot of new subscribers to my channel, as well as my loofah video. So many people connected with me on my loofah video. Today we're going to look at the growing of loofah, and also we're going to harvest and prepare loofah for sponges. So stick around. So many people connected with me on my loofah video, many of which did not realize loofah is a vegetable. It is in the cucumber family, and when you leave it growing on the vine past maturity, what is left is the exoskeleton, which becomes like a sponge. It's not a sponge. A sponge is an animal in the ocean. But my loofah video has close to 1 million views and has brought me a lot of subscribers to my channel. You'll notice in some of my live streams I've started singing. I'm not a singer. I'm not a professional singer. I can carry a tune, And some of my subscribers started encouraging me to sing a song in my live streams, and I've been doing that lately. I hope you'll check those out if you want to hear me sing. So I wanted to once again mention my calendar planners. These are free downloadable calendar planners from my website, and you'll see the link down below. I have a color version and a black and white version of the same plant, either flower or vegetable, that will be up in the left corner. And if you like to doodle, get out your color pencils and color this in when we are going over schedules on the live stream. Download these, and we're gonna just pencil in what you're planting, what you're planning for your spring garden, where you're going. I am going to be, weather permitting, in Nashville the 24th through the 28th of January. But in March, I am going to be back in Phoenix, and I can't wait to see the progress on Jack Davis's Epic Yard Farm 2.0. She's had tremendous luck already with watermelon. I think she has 24 fruit trees already planted. This is my first little mandarin harvest from my little mandarin tree, Kishu mandarin. I was recommended to save these peels, not toss them in the compost. And you can dry them and keep them for flavoring, teas and various other things. And let's just try one. I'm kind of hungry anyway. Smells good. It's very good. Not quite as sweet as it was the last time. This passion fruit just fell off the vine out back today. I've got 2 huge passion fruit vines, and in a temperate climate, they just keep producing. They slow down in the cool weather, and the fruit takes longer to ripen, but it still produces fruit and it stays alive. Let's go check out the status of my new fig plantings. In addition to all of my perennials, I have a few annuals growing. I didn't really plan a winter garden because I knew I would not be cooking here. And so I just have bok choy and chard and a little bit of lettuce growing. The cabbage worm has eaten more bok choy than I have, but when I planted it, I just wanted to have something growing in the raised beds, so when people were looking at the house, they would get the idea that this is an edible garden. If they just see fruit trees, they may not understand it's actually a food forest.
Wow.
And my fuchsia camellias are just starting to bloom. My African blue basil is coming back after almost cutting it to the ground. I've got 2 nice plants out there now, and the bees are enjoying those. I've still got 2 tomato vines out there. No, I still have tomato vines out front, but it's just been too cold and windy to produce. Even if they manage to produce small fruit, they don't taste that great in the winter. But I thought, let's keep them alive if they're willing to live, and the new owners will quite possibly have tomatoes by June or even May if it gets hot. I have the most amazing dragon fruit cactus that grows up my pine tree. I did a video earlier this season about using your trees as a trellis, because in a small space garden you need to use every available sunny spot. And sometimes if you can get vines up in a tree, they can catch more light than if you try to grow them on the ground. Now, I've heard that dragon fruit cactus takes 2 or 3 years to actually bloom, and this was planted in ground about 2 years ago. So it has not bloomed. I was really hoping I would get to see it bloom and I would get a fruit from my own dragon fruit cactus out of my garden here, but I don't think that's going to happen. I had a lot of comfrey out here, and it gets to looking pretty ragged in the cooler weather. It's a great time to cut it all back and just let it come back, because it is a perennial and it will come back. Those roots will stay in the ground and they will return. But I kind of wanted to have some green, you know, for showing the property, and so we haven't cut all that back, but I think we probably should this Saturday. I wanted to mention the biggest surprises of 2019 in my garden. What were they? If you follow me on social media, you know that I had a 10-day rest and relaxation holiday trip to Austin, Texas to see my son, and to the Midwest to visit a friend. I didn't post any videos, didn't shoot any videos, did a little posting on social media, did the live stream from the shooting range where my son took me and a friend, and I tried that for the very first time. That was interesting. I was given a new hat, which I think is appropriate now that I'm going to be spending more time in Texas. It's also great for the garden, and I want to premiere it here and see what you think. Okay, I didn't notice this until I just came over to Parkway number 2, and I see that the wind blew down what was left of my princess flower bush. I'm going to show you what this looked like in its prime. Take a look.
The princess flower was brought to the U.S. from Brazil by Los Angeles horticulture giant Hugh Evans, according to his granddaughter Pam Kendall, who dropped by the other day. Evans felt our benevolent climate could support year-round flowering greenery, and the princess flower delivers on that promise.
Termites got half of it, and we cut it back, and I put in this weeping acacia tree, and it had really started to come back, but I see that the base is compromised either by too much rain or termites. I don't know. So thanks so much for your support going into 2020. I hope I can continue to inspire you as I search for Late Bloomer Garden 2.0. Like my videos, share them with your friends, help me build my channel. The more I build my channel, the more possible it is to bring you content from all over the country and maybe the world. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please watch these. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll see you in the next video.